we can be friends when you're not so fragile. When you know yourself well, tell me down the sweet life. When I do things for me, 'cause I don't wanna be a therapy, I wanna be free. So, ooh, gotta go and grab a spoon now. Ooh, make a life for myself. Ooh, I don't know what I'ma do now. Ooh, but I don't need your help. Get out of my way, my way. I'm moving on up. Don't make me just stay, to stay. I'm done being stuck. Get out of my way, my way. I'm moving on up. The last thing I will ever do for you is wish you the best of luck. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, I know, you know, it's time you let me go. Don't call, don't follow, 'cause I'll do it fine on my own. I know, you know, it's time I let you go. Don't call, don't follow, 'cause I'll be gone. Get out of my way, my way. I'm moving on up. Don't make me just stay, to stay. I'm done being stuck. Get out of my way, my way. I'm moving on up. The last thing I will ever do for you is wish you the best of luck. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la la la. Get out of my way, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la la la. Get out of my way.
Hello, everyone. How is everyone this Friday? Hope you're all doing well. Who has watched The Crown? That's going to be the topic of today. If anybody wants to call in and give your 2 cents, link. Oh, I think I went mute for a second. Sorry, I said link is going to be posted in the chat and pinned. So if you have any opinions about The Crown, whether or not you think this affects the monarchy, how do you think it portrayed the monarchy, and you know, all of the hoo-ha that's been surrounding The Crown, that's going to be the topic of today. So please do, or if you just have anything else to say about the royal family in general, or Harry and Meghan, please do hit that link and call in. Right. Welcome to the Friday chat, everyone. Sorry, there was no podcast yesterday. Do you know, I have been obviously feeling quite poorly this last week, but I also think that I didn't acknowledge how much that I think that I just came down with a dose of creator burnout. And this is kind of what happens a lot to online content creators, especially YouTubers, I think, and having a daily show, is you kind of just go into this autopilot mode and eventually you just burn out. And you know, this is my 347th video, I think. That is a lot of content to be making, so that's almost a video a day for like a good year and a bit. And I didn't just take a step back and go, you know what, I think I did need a little bit of a break. So I do apologize for kind of being all over the place with shows and pushing podcasts back and stuff. But I did get a little bit of the creative burnout. Eventually, I think though, starting from the beginning of next year, I will have a more. I do want a more like solid schedule. But for now, thank you all of you for putting up with me and my mess. It's highly appreciated. But yeah, welcome to chat, everyone. Thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Oh, is it Elaine Parker's birthday? Hello, Elaine. Happy birthday to you. Round of applause for Elaine, please. Happy sweet 16, Elaine. Sunshine, you have watched The Crown twice now. So much to talk about. I found it surprisingly sympathetic to the royal family. See, now a lot of people have been saying this. I am actually, for the record, I am actually only on episode 5 so far. So I'm just gonna give my 2 cents on the first like 5 episodes. When we get to that part of the podcast. Okay. Yes, happy Veterans Day, everyone. To all the vets and those that give service. Joe Blogs, you're just back from a few days in Dubai. Were you there with Valerie? Did you party with Valerie? She was in Dubai as well. I'm feeling like I missed so much. I'm currently at episode 5 of The Crown. Wow, I remember most of this happening in real time. I mean, it must be amazing for those of you who are alive or a little bit older at the time to be able to remember all of this and see it play back. Thank you so much, Valerie, for reminding everyone to hit the like button. Yes. Okay, Joyce, you're saying that you've watched all the episodes. I enjoyed it. I did not expect that it would be like ripping the royal family, but it showed the cruelty of the family and Diana's struggles in the family. Yes. All right, let's get on to the other news before we get on to the crown. It's going to be a relatively short podcast today, unless a number of people call in. But I will put a 3-minute time limit. If anybody does want to call in, please do enter the chat now. So, I actually went for a bit of a walk today. Started doing my Christmas shopping. I went into Fortnum and Mason, and look what I found. Time for Tea, a book about tea by Tom Parker Bowles. Does that name sound familiar? That is indeed Camilla's son. So apparently, aristos and royals can write cookbooks and books about food and do commercial ventures, and it's not unclassy and common. I guess that only counts when you're the biracial duchess. Apparently, he has written a number of food-related books, and I don't see a problem with that. I don't see a problem with that at all. I don't have a problem with anybody's hustle. What I do take an issue with is when the American biracial duchess does it, it's a problem. Or it's unclassy or low class and common, or it's too celebrity or too Hollywood. But yes, FYI, Fortnum and Mason has some amazing Christmas gifts. You can get some really nice tea and biscuits for a pretty reasonable price if you want a very nice high-end gift. And yes, the Christmas lights are now up in Oxford Street, if anybody was wondering. Over at archworld.com, they posted this today for Remembrance Day. On this Veterans Day and Remembrance Day, we honor service members across the world. These brave men and women, as well as their families, have made a tremendous sacrifice and embodied duty and service. We are proud to work with so many organizations that support veterans and military families, including the Invictus Games Foundation, the mission continues, Team Rubicon, Scottish Little Soldiers, and the Greatest Generations Foundation. Today and every day, thank you for your service. I'm sure we all remember last Remembrance Day, the absolute hoo-ha that was made with Harry's flowers that were meant to be laid and then they weren't laid. They took them away, just being very, very petty and really just making themselves look bad in the eyes of those who have served, especially because Harry is very much considered one of their brethren, having been on the front line and done 2 tours of Afghanistan. So when the royal family does things like that, it really just makes them look bad. And they're trying to be spiteful, but it just makes them look bad. And also, because Harry and Meghan could not make the Well Child Awards due to the Queen's passing that day, they have been doing some online meetings instead. We saw Harry have a virtual meeting with some people from Well Child about a week ago, and him and Meghan have also sent letters to those who were meant to be in attendance with them, but they obviously could not attend. So these are two young lads that got a letter from Harry and Meghan. So very, very sweet. Right, let's go to your comments before we go to the next bit. Uh, Hello, if you're just joining the chat. Joe Blogs. Remember, he has some serious drug addiction since he was removed from William and Harry's company. Notice no one talks about this at all. I mean, I didn't know about his drug problems. I hope he's getting help for them. I didn't know that he was removed from William and Harry's company. Wow, that's interesting. Didn't know about that. Joyce, Prince Philip really had to find his way in that family. He married the Queen to give him status, and he gave up his military future. You marry her, and I don't feel he really got over that. Well, you know, he had to find his way in his family. Sorry, in that family, but you know, at the end of the day, he pursued her, and you know, not only did he get to live a life of luxury as the Queen's husband, he also got his side pieces and side fun as well. So I don't know so much if I feel sorry for Philip, just because he was a lot more mature, I think, and a lot more privy to certain things when he married into that family. Because mind you, there were many in that circle that did not even want Philip to marry the Queen. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on Philip. And you know, he is very loose-lipped, especially when it comes to people of color. Like there are literally listicles about racist things that Prince Philip has said. So I don't think he was the most naive person when he was marrying into that family. Like he wasn't like a lamb to the slaughter like Diana. Good afternoon, Patricia. Thank you for joining. Oh, hello, Joseph. Yes, salute to all our veterans and thank you for your service. All right. Right, the egg guy. There he is, looking very proud of himself. Now he has indeed been arrested. I'm not gonna delve too much into it, but there are some interesting conspiracy theories surrounding this gentleman and this whole incident. And like I said, I'm not going to go too much into it. I'll let you go and explore that for yourself. But I would just say this. I did find the whole thing, looking back at the footage, very odd. Because you literally have someone who is throwing live ammo, albeit eggs, at the king. He is surrounded by security and police, and nobody seems to be doing anything. So the whole thing was a little bit weird. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. But the eggs were okay. I have confirmation that the eggs were okay. The eggs were a little cracked, but generally unharmed. I do not encourage anyone to go around to start throwing eggs, tomatoes, or anything at any members of the royal family. We need a revolution in this country for sure, but egg throwing is not the way to go. I don't know what, if anything, this gentleman will be charged for. But yeah, there he is. London lady, I'm sure Charles. I'm sure Charles was too. London lady cracked me up. The guy can no longer buy eggs. Really? Is he banned from buying eggs? That'll show him. Exciting to hear. Oh my god. Oh. Excuse me. Ginger, George Bush got a shoe thrown at him. So if Charles got an egg thrown at him, then so be it. Oh, I agree with that, Ginger Lily. Um, Bahini, and here I thought that Ilium was. Oh God, did I just call him Ilium? Here I thought that William was the egghead. Yes, cookies and cream, the incredible edible egg. Y'all are really coming hard with the egg jokes. How embarrassing, for the royal family. Yes, exactly. Well, it is embarrassing, and I think it is, I guess, a sign that people are fed up. And it's not just I mean, listen, the egg throwing is the funniest side of it on a higher political level. There are sorry, there is a movement in Ireland, Scotland, and Wales that is growing, speaking up and speaking out about the fact that why do we still need this institution? What is its purpose? Something else that I've thought about though is the royal family are essentially a tool um to keep the class system in place. If that tool is broken or no longer useful, something that I've thought about before is, will the system or the establishment get rid of the tool? Not that um that the monarchy will disappear completely, but that they will be forced um to give up more of their powers and their wealth, because the monarchy only works if the people are buying into the fairy tale, and the fairy tale is slowly, slowly, slowly eroding. So just food for thought. You can give me your opinions about that. Mina, I will let you speak in a moment. Just give me a moment, dear. But yes, The Crown. This was the front and back page of the Metro. The Metro is distributed across the London Underground and other very high traffic areas in the UK. So after all of that hoorah, Netflix said, and we're taking entire page ads on the most read newspapers in the country. And FYI, the Metro is free. Um, Charles is an egomaniac. Hardy har har. Thank you, Joseph. Oh god. Oh no, there's more. Meaningful life. I wouldn't put anything past this extremely evil people. Oh gosh. King Egalot and his canine consort. Extra, extra. Read all about it. Oh gosh. I'm gonna have to make like a social media thread of all of your best egg jokes. Oh, okay. Enough with the egg jokes, y'all. Oh yeah, but here's another picture, by the way, from another angle. See, now you can really see the egg coming in, like from right across there, and it just about misses Charles. But yeah, The Crown. So far, for me, The Crown isn't really giving what it was in the last season, if I'm honest. I do like that they have made the effort to focus on the other members of the family and not just make it entirely about, the Diana years and other stuff that was going on politically in the UK as well, because I do think that is important. But yeah, I don't know. This season it's just not hitting as hard as the last season. So there's a couple things that see. We see Diana doing the Andrew Morton book, Diana in her own words. Charles begging mummy for a divorce. Also Andrew begging mummy for a divorce, and begging mummy to let her marry the man that she had an affair with, and also Margaret giving it to her sister about the fact that she did not allow her to do what Anne wanted to do. And you see this very weird duality between the Queen being the sovereign and making decisions as a sovereign, and also making decisions as a sister, as a mother, as a grandmother. And I don't know, how do you reckon with that as a family member, that you've got someone who will often make decisions about you and your life as the sovereign, as the head of the crown, and that those decisions can often be very, very cruel. And that is what Margaret, as a sister, had to put up with, and what other members of the family also have to put up with. I just think that is so unhealthy and so toxic. And it does make me scratch my head a bit about the situation with Harry and Meghan. You know, um when throughout all of this then was Lizzie making decisions as a grandmother or as a sovereign? When we didn't hear anyone defend Meghan, or anyone defend um her grandchild being subject to racial abuse, was the institution then silent because the Queen had made a decision to make sure that nobody defended them as a sovereign or as a grandmother? Like, it's just a very, very weird dynamic to have in a family. And how then do you actually function as a family? Can you function as a family? Are you really a family? Like, you're just puppets for this institution, and essentially that's what they are. And what I also found weird, and a lot of these things that I'm saying, like, I've always kind of felt this about the royal family, but I think seeing it play out on screen really homed in on a lot of what I've always felt, that I do think there's like just something mentally unhinged about the way that they see themselves. Because so you truly believe that you're anointed by God, but you are so immoral in the way that you act. Adultery, mistresses, you know, hanging out with dodgy finances, um, raping and pillaging other nations. Like, is that what God had in mind when he um so-called anointed you to rule? And also that they really seem to believe that they are doing some kind of actual service to people, and that they are just their presence is a service. Their breath is a service. Them being there is a service. I want a psychologist to look into the pathology of this. And I just don't know how, at this point, people, like, I could understand it maybe in a certain point of history. Um, but now, in this here 2020, when we can think a lot more critically, I just think that to continue to look at these people as, some kind of like godlike deities, or even just examples of, what we should look up to as people. Like, I think that you have to just admit that you you are just playing into social conditioning, like, because that's what it is. Like, there's no logical reason at this point in history to look up to these people like like gods, or examples of what you should be as a human being, because they are the most flawed human beings with all of their wealth and privilege. But that's all that I have to say about The Crown. I will give my full review when I've watched all of um the seasons. But I'll let you all let me know what you think about it, and I'll just get through your comments before we go to Mina and Miss September, who are very patiently waiting. And please do come up if you have anything to say about The Crown. Adrian, it seems like Queen Elizabeth didn't know her children. She had to be constantly told about their upbringing. Yeah, it's like she heard it through the courtiers. Marina, I also found the season quite underwhelming, except for a few scenes like Temple and Gate. Yeah, I'm not there yet. But one thing I will give the Crown credit for, as I think you have to give them credit for, the overall production is just unmatched. Like cinematically, it's incredible. The acting, incredible. I think for me, it's more where I've been disappointed is how the story is moving. That's what I'm disappointed by. But everything else, as always with The Crown, like 10 out of 10. Joyce, the cure light and non-support of that family is that cruelty and non-support of that family stood out to me. That is a family that's very much uneducated to the world, but educated to being royals. That's what keeps them from being modernized. Yes, and there's actually this really great scene between Lizzie and Randy Andy, where Andrew's character says, anyone, they love people who have fire when they come into the family, and they talk about how, this person's going to modernize the monarchy and, modernize us. And then they destroy anyone that comes in with any amount of joy and fire. So it's just like, why is it that they keep making this mistake over and over and over again? They did it with Diana. Fergie, for all of her um flaws, was a very charismatic, vibrant, and liked by the public, at least initially. They destroyed her too. Meghan also. Anyone with personality just gets destroyed. And it's like, I think these people are just so bitter and angry and feel so trapped that it's like they want to just, it's like a heat sticking missiles, trying to destroy any amount of joy and love that comes within their circle. It's really creepy. Dana and the Crown was soft on the royal family, but overall it twisted the truth and showed Charles as the change maker and how the monarch meddled with politicians to get what they wanted. The outcry was fake. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm only 5 episodes in, but I don't even understand why, John Major was out here having a tantrum, because at least from what I've seen so far, it actually makes him look very stoic, very sharp, very smart. Uh, Judy Dench, Judy Dench has actually written herself into a future episode of The Crown because she complained about The Crown. Maybe that was her aim all along. But so far, 5 episodes in, I don't think it warranted the outrage. Sunshine, it baffles me how some people can watch history repeat itself over and over again and still not recognize it happening again with Meghan. But we all know the reason why. Yes, of course we do. Ariba, these people do not believe in God. It's all pretend. Their church was started by Henry VIII so he could divorce and remarry. They copy the Catholic Church. That doesn't make them holy. Interesting point. Joe blogs. I feel the Crown seems to have toned it down a bit. I wonder if they had their ears pinched. Yeah, I mean, do you know what? Overall, I have to say, I don't think they've gone um too far either way. Like, I don't think they've really, you know, put down the hammer hard. I don't think they've been too soft either. I think it's been relatively balanced, actually. Um, but also, actually, before I get into the calls, one thing that I want to touch on, a story that I didn't know about until I saw The Crown, is the story of this gentleman right here. So this was the butler. Wait, hang on a sec. Sorry, give my computer a moment because it's freezing. Right, so this was Sydney Johnson, who worked for King Edward for more than 30 years. He was the butler, and after that, he then went and worked for Mohammed Al Fayed. And there's an interesting part of the story where he sees Sydney working at the Ritz, fires him because he doesn't want a black man working there, and then eventually hires him when he realizes that he can teach him about British society. So I just wanted to read a bit from Vanity Fair because I thought it was quite interesting. So Johnson appeared briefly as a character in season three's Dangling Man, um, during which Prince Charles pays a final visit to his uncle, the Duke and former King Edward, whose abdication paved the way for Elizabeth to become queen. Though Johnson's cameo was brief, a dying Duke of Windsor literally shouts, Sydney. The appearance of a black character in the Crown's sea of historical correct whiteness was notable enough to earn him an internet shout out. But in season 5, the Crown creator, Peter Morgan, showcases Johnson in a storyline suggesting that stiff upper lipped British royals, even one with alleged Nazi sympathies, are capable of moments of softness. I mean, I don't know if I'd if I'd put it like that because he was still the butler, but anyway. So the episode flashes. Oh wait, no, let's go a little bit further down. Yeah, so basically, it just goes on to say that the guy was the butler for some time. He wait, hang on a sec. I think he even moved into um yeah, he moved into Edward and Wallace's Paris home, where they lived out their exile in a 14-room mansion. And then but he wasn't as the article says that he wasn't as valued by um, Wallace as he was by the king. And then he boomeranged back to the very Paris home where he had lived and served with the Duke. And after the Duke's 1972 death, as depicted in The Crown, Johnson went on to work as a waiter in the Ritz Hotel in Paris, which was purchased by Mohammed Al Fayed in 1979. And from there, Johnson was hired to work as Fayed's butler and Anglophile, sorry, at the Anglophiles billionaire's Paris home, and helped Fayed secure a royal restoration project that would earn the businessman further acclaim. And one of the things that you do see about Fayed was just how desperate he was to um, kind of wriggle his way into British society. And I guess through Diana, he got what he wanted. Trinette, I was going to start watching tonight, but I heard The Crown is not as hard hitting as we thought. I'm not eager to watch anymore. I mean, still watch it. I do think it's worth watching, but it's just not as hard hitting, no. Um, Adrian, but that was the beginning of the marriage. I think season 6 will be the big one. Yes. Maybe they toned it down because they got a warning. I don't know. Ginger, do you think these royalists are suffering from Stockholm syndrome? Absolutely. it goes without saying. I mean, you're struggling to pay your bills and you are worshipping people who live in castles. Make it make sense. Like I'm not gonna dog anyone for falling prey to social conditioning, but if you if you never even want to take a step back to at least question things, then I'm gonna dog you out. Because I was there too. I was once just completely, um, taken by the royals and the whole royal fairy tale and everything. But we're older and wiser. All right. That's enough from me yappering on. So I'm gonna let you talk. Mina, my dear. 3 minute talking time, by the way. Mina, what do you think of The Crown?
Oh, okay. Hi, can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't got to season 5. I'm about to start season 4, so I just wanted to get my thoughts on the crown in general. Um,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so the basically got done watching season 3. That was a doozy. Um, this is gonna be shocking for me to even say this. I actually felt bad for Charles, especially like
Okay.
towards the end of season 2, and then like when he came into the picture in season 3, I felt bad. But of course, knowing the history and how he treated Diana, uh, F him. Let's see. That whole family is just, I hate to say it's stone cold hearted. Like, oh
Mm.
God. I know everybody has issues in their family, but golly, I think that whole family need therapy, um, and prayer. Um, and tell you the truth, would we honestly be even talking about them if it wasn't even for Princess Diana, let alone Meghan as well? Because if anything,
Yeah.
they made that family bigger than it even was.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they really made the family pop culture. Like in comparison to all of the other royal family, like nobody even cares about any of the other royal families around the world. It's really the British royal family, and you're right, it's because of Diana and Meghan. And to what you said about Charles, I think that it's perfectly okay to see him both as a victim, as someone who was born into a family that he had no control over, that he was born into this family and how he was raised, but to also see him as someone who abused Diana also.
Yeah,
I
and not
think
to mention
both
doing
those things
oh,
are
I'm
true.
sorry.
Oh no, no, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, not to mention you doing the exact same thing to your son.
Yes.
But hey, that's family trauma for you. Oh, and I also felt bad for Princess Margaret. She, I think, along with Diana, had suffered the same amount of torture. But then I
Mhm.
also heard that she even had a disliking towards Diana. So yeah, that whole family just mm, need therapy.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting because I think Margaret, for all her flaws, I think she was genuinely in love with Peter, and that Peter was really the love of her life. And I think it was just very cruel of Lizzie to do that to her sister.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, and the mama. Oh Lord, I would say something about the mama, but I'm not even finna go there. I respect the dad.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, Mina, and enjoy
You're
the rest
welcome.
of what you haven't watched. Thank you, Miss September. Hello,
Hello, Anne. How are you?
fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Well, I just finished The Crown.
Okay,
I I watched it over 3 days. I watched.
okay.
I kind of binged the first day, but it
Hmm.
was like most of the people were saying. It's kind of underwhelming. It wasn't as um, uh, I don't know. They made a big to do about nothing. I mean, it wasn't as
Mm,
bad as they made it out to be. Like, oh, everybody's going on and telling the Crown to put disclaimers. I have watched. There's something on Twitter called Duchess of Receipts, and she has like these clips of different one of Diana's bodyguards who did these he did a documentary back in 2003, I believe, and he has
hmm.
all these little clips about Diana and whatnot. And if you go all the way down, if you press the bottom, there's the actual footage. It's like a test tape or something, but you can actually see the whole thing without seeing excerpts. Like they have like 2-minute excerpts all over. And so all at the very it's called Duchess of Receipts on Twitter, and you can see the
Okay.
whole thing. And I feel like, I mean, the ending, I'm not going to tell you the ending or anything like that, but I don't know. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't, I don't know. it
It wasn't what you expected, no?
wasn't, I have seen better um dramatizations or footage on YouTube about people, coming on and talking about uh, Diana, and even the ones that they have with her own words when she's sitting on the couch and she's talking about her relationship with Charles and how the Queen, she went to the Queen and she says, I don't know, Charles is hopeless. They wouldn't help her. They would not
Mhm.
help the woman. And she literally was begging, pleading for help. And then his whole she said something about once she got a divorce, everybody's agendas changed. People, things that they just they just shut the windows, closed the locked the doors, and pushed her out. And she said she was alone, basically, just like Harry said on the Oprah interview. She was by herself, and
Mm.
friends who she thought were her friends, except for that Robert Cohurst, the guy who he was pretty much there for her. But it's like, I was like, where was her sisters and where was her brother? I mean, and why didn't he let her live at Althorpe, when she was going through what she was going through? It's hard to
Yeah.
forgive him for it's hard to forgive him for that. I mean, because that's a big sprawling estate, and she could have had some privacy there, but
Yeah, I think he didn't. From interviews that I've read before, it was something to
mhm,
do. Well, he said it's because
the
um
paparazzi.
yeah, because of the paparazzi. But I mean, you're already a family that has the press on you all the time.
Right.
Um, so for me, I feel it was just because of Diana's associations with the Alfayeds.
Yeah, yeah, I do,
That's
because
what I think
and
it
the
was.
part where you're talking about where Sidney Johnson, he was in one of the episodes, early on.
Yeah,
I think
season 3.
episode 2 or something like that. But the part that got me was when Fayed fixed up that palace or place that they were living, and he wrote and said, "I have this painting and I have the Queen Mary's," and they were like, I felt like they were so greedy. They was like, "Oh, you need to return that, and the necklace. Oh, I'll have that." I was like, "Don't you have enough?"
Hmm.
I mean, it was like, and then
It's never enough, right?
it was never enough. And then he thought the queen was going to come, and then rolls up her private secretary and a truck to get all of the paintings and the this and the that. And then Sydney said, that's the same way the Prince of Windsor, I mean, the Duke of Windsor thought about the royal family. I mean, it was like so disrespectful toward him. And I hated the way he treated Sydney in the beginning. Like, what's he doing here? That kind of thing. And then until he needed something from him, then,
Hmm.
I mean, I
Hmm.
was like, you're Egyptian. You're from Africa, dude. What?
Yeah, but unfortunately, you see this with a lot of
Whew,
brown people,
I
right?
don't understand that.
It's that wanting approval,
Yeah.
right? Wanting approval from you know who,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
having no racial integrity at all, and that's what at least what the Crown depicted anyway.
Yeah. I felt like how I feel about the whole situation is like we are below them until they need something from us. And then when they need something, all of a sudden we're the greatest, musically, talent wise, whatever the case may be. And it's painful to say that, but it's not until they need something, like he was
Hmm.
teaching him the etiquette of the royal family and whatnot, and teaching him how to dress properly and this kind of thing. So yeah, but I just felt like it was a much ado about nothing, as Shakespeare would say. It was much ado about nothing. And I like season 4 and season 3 better, in my
Yes.
opinion, than this season. Maybe season 6 will be a little bit more, but yeah,
Mm.
I mean, I'll watch it again. There's some parts of with Diana and whatnot, but they kind of really moved really quickly through the whole situation, the divorce, the whole thing. It was very quick, but yeah, but it's fine.
Mm.
I mean, I don't hate it, and I like you said, the cinematography is beautiful. The
Mm.
wherever they shot these places, is beautiful. But yeah, so
Yeah.
they made much ado about nothing. So
But it's always the case, right? Even with the Oprah interview, with everything,
yes,
they make what ado about nothing, and then they actually make themselves look worse.
they make their stuff just like the book Finding Freedom. They were all in a tizzy because I remember Michelle and Tina did a podcast about it, and it was I think it was podcast number 79 because I listened to it often. And they were making such ado about, and it didn't turn out to be as horrible as they thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it was
It
a lot of it. The stuff was just stuff that was written in the tabloids anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, and they just made such a stink about it. But I'm like, so when the book comes out, we shall see. You know, I mean, they might. I mean, the hoopla that they're giving this stuff. I mean, hey, I don't know. They gave them free advertisement. I don't know. They didn't have to pay much for that budget, did they?
Oh, thank you so
Okay.
much, Miss September.
You're welcome. You have a nice weekend.
Thank you. You too, hon. All right. Marie, you're gonna close us out. You're the last caller of the day. How you doing, hon? Oh, actually, sorry, but Marie, before you speak, thank you so much to Chef Sandy Love, for the super sticker, and also Elaine Parker for being a member for 9 months. Thank you so much, both of you, for your support as always. All right, Marie, you can go ahead now.
Hi, Anne. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, hon.
Okay. Well, I'm a long-time listener, first time calling in.
Oh,
Um,
lovely. Thank you.
yes, I enjoy your podcast and Baron especially. I probably will echo what everybody else said. I didn't understand what the big hoopla was about because it didn't really, I don't think it did any particular damage to what we already know about them. Um,
Yeah.
but I will say the production was wonderful, and I have watched all of the seasons prior to this. I was kind of watching it with my little Wikipedia out at the same time to see like
Yeah.
what was.
Oh no, Marie, you've gone a bit silent. Okay, I think what she was going to say was, I guess she was watching it and trying to see how the real life events actually played out.
Yes, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yes, I was watching it to see what was real, what was, what was kind of more dramatic. But
Mm,
to me, it just shows you that they're out of time and sort of out of place, especially in this 21st century. They just don't
yeah,
seem relevant anymore. And I will say, like Mina, I think it was, in the earlier seasons, I did feel some sympathy for Charles. Um,
mm,
but this season, season 5, if you're older, you remember a lot of what happened
mm,
in this season in terms of Diana and what she went through. And so I I don't think it could do any more damage to them than the real live, you know, uh,
yeah.
what's already
I
out
think
there.
I think their problem is that it's bringing to the forefront and reminding people what's already out there, but it's all
Right.
already out
Yeah, it's already there. I don't see it. I just think, well, I will say I think, it's unfortunate for Charles. He comes to this throne way too old to even
there.
make
Yeah,
this work. So even if you're a royalist, I think you kind of, I know some royalists here in the United States, they even say that, you know.
yeah,
Um, and it's okay to see, I think, for what it is, I watched the whole season, so I won't give any spoilers. So I've completed it. I binged watched it for 3 days. I just think it just sort of shows, you know, that maybe they've had their better run in prior years, and
yeah.
maybe it's time to close the chapter. I guess that's up to you guys in the UK, but for us in America, I think it's just, for me, it's just fun to
You've been
watch.
done. You've been done for a while.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's sort of like, okay, this is fun, but when are they going to put this to rest? It's sort of, out of date. They're out of date and out of time, and it's like what Harry said. They seem to be trapped in their own sort of what's going to
Mm,
be turning into a little bit of a nightmare for them. And but I was curious about Sydney Johnson. Didn't know that story at all.
mhm,
So they always
mhm.
give you, new tidbits that you didn't know from history.
Yeah,
So that
yeah,
part
that
was
was news
good.
to me.
Yeah. So but that's kind of how I saw it too. I don't think it was any big splash. but anyway, I don't know if anybody else is going to come on. That's all I really had to say. But I enjoy your podcast so much, and thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you so much, Marie, for actually coming on today. First time you're calling. Thank you so much.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Alrighty. That was all for calls. Please, nobody else enter the chat. I just wanted to finish by talking about Meghan's inclusion in the Hello magazine kind list for her contribution to women's empowerment and giving women a voice. So a nice little award there for Meghan, and well deserved. Right. With that, I'll just end with your comments and then we will call it a day. Thank you so much, everyone, as always. Thank you for your patience with me this week. It's been a bit of a mad week, but I'm hoping in the new year I can be a little bit more consistent with timings, and actually, like, I'd love to get to a point where I can be like, okay, it's going to be at this time on these days every single day, but it's just not quite happening for me yet because there's so many other things happening in my life. But hopefully we will get there, and I thank you always for being patient with me. Right. Rita, you say that the caller is oh, so the caller is right. It's up to you, the British people, to end this nonsense. You're right, Rita, but I don't know. I see that there is a collective of people who are pushing back, but one has to remember that if the monarchy goes, so does the class system, and so does the system that keeps people in check. And so everybody who also benefits from the monarchy being there is not going to let the monarchy go down without fight. So I think with time it will happen, but I'm not even sure that I'll see it in my lifetime. It's going to be like a very, very slow end to the monarchy. But I do think like that the time is coming. People are, they're fed up. But these things, they do take time. Let's see. Anne Lewis, she said the royal family would like to circumvent history and hide their skeletons. Of course. Mad Wisdom. Did that reporter cause the downfall of Diana? If Diana lived a loveless life, she'd be quit. Sorry, I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, Mad Wilson. Yes, Chris and Queen Meghan are so beautiful. Like 41, where's the 41? Dilly, what have I missed? The whole podcast. you can watch on replay though. Thank you for coming, Dilly. Join the replay gang. Join the replay gang, hun. Okay, Mad Wilson, you're saying anybody who joins the royal family will live a loveless life in jewels and castles. Exactly. And what are jewels and castles without love? Chosen to be his. It's the reminders. They didn't want people to be reminded. Neither did they want the ones who knew nothing about what happened to find out what happened in the past. Comparisons will be made. Exactly. All right. Who's going to get the last word of the day? Educate you. I'm going to give you the last word of the day. Peace and love, everyone. Peace and love indeed. Have a fantastic weekend. Unless something major happens tomorrow, I'll probably just take a break and not do a podcast. But we'll definitely have a podcast on Sunday. Maybe do like a will we have a podcast on Sunday? Because I think I'm going around someone's house on Sunday. Okay, we might have a podcast on Sunday, and I might do like call-ins again. All right, everyone, enjoy your weekend. Ciao.
I know you don't mean to, but you're blocking my view. I know you got issues, but I got my shit too. I don't wanna be your therapy no more, no more. You don't wanna hear this. it's you, it's not me. Ooh, gotta go and grab a spoon now. Ooh, make a life for myself. Ooh, I don't know what I'ma do now. Ooh, but I don't need your help. Get out of my way, my way. I'm moving on up. Don't make me stay, to stay. I'm done being stuck. Get out of my way, my way. I'm moving on up. The last thing I will ever do for you is wish you the best of luck. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Catch you on the flip side. Maybe we can be friends when you're not so fragile. When you know yourself well, somewhere down the sweet line. When I do things for me, 'cause I don't wanna be a therapy. I wanna be free, so ooh, gotta go and grab a spoon now. Ooh, make a life for myself. Ooh, I don't know what I'ma do now. Ooh, but I don't need your help. Get out of my way, my way. I'm moving on up. Don't make me stay, to stay. I'm done being stuck. Get out of my way, my way. I'm moving on up. The last thing I will ever do for you is wish you the best of luck. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la la
I just had to put, is it September the 12th?
13th, sir.
Oh God, I'm the wrong date. 13?
Yes, sir.
You saw 12:30.
Where did I put the 12th? I was suddenly 10. Oh God, I hate this.
Oh, look, it's going everywhere. Hang on. So nobody got it wrong.
Where's the map?
Oh, look, it's everywhere.
Can't bear this bloody thing.